I don't see another quarterback that Kyle would love more than Joe Burrow. I think he
Brock Purdy.
dreams. Yeah, all right.
I think Joe Burrow's good, but I think Brock Purdy's just a little bit better. What? Are you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
oh man,
Purdy's more mobile.
Yeah, I mean he definitely is that.
He's younger.
For sure. Yeah, Joe
He
Burrow's
has
40, but
he doesn't have as strong of an arm per se. He's not as big.
Not as accurate. Not as handsome.
More religious.
That's true.
He's
that
more
is very true.
Moral. He's more pious.
I mean, yeah, he took a team-friendly deal. Joe didn't. So
yeah.
He cares more about his teammates. That's
no
true.
question. Ask Brandon.
I think Brandon would hate Joe Burrow. Take all his money. Yeah.
Reed's defense is so much faster.
Yeah. Okay.
More humble.
He was drafted later.
Never bleached his hair. What was that? That was not a team move, bleaching his hair like that. That's a big reason they missed the playoffs. I'm just saying. Speaking of Purdy, man, I got a question. So the Niners have this incredible young franchise quarterback, Brock Purdy, the best quarterback in franchise history, one of them. The Niners aren't used to having talent like this. So the question is, what is the best coach to usher in the next era of greatness at quarterback for the 49ers? And I think a lot of people feel that the best coach for a superstar like Brock Purdy, that level of elite quarterback is an offensive coach, right? I mean, you look at Andy Reid, of course, with the Niners, there's Bill Walsh, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. Is that true though? Like, is it smartest? Is it best to pair a young superstar or a superstar quarterback of any age, like Brock, like, a Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady, a Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Is it best to pair him with an offensive coach or a defensive coach?
Man.
What do you think?
I mean, Tom Brady did it with a defensive coach.
He did, right? Brady and Belichick.
Yeah. Peyton Manning, I think he did it with both. He did it with
Tom,
both, right?
With Dungy.
Yeah, because he had John Fox. John Fox.
That was another defensive coach.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll.
Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor. Can't forget that.
Well, they haven't won.
They're going to soon.
Sirianni's offense.
What? Isn't Sirianni like
offense?
Isn't he a Dan Campbell where he doesn't do anything but like cheer him on?
His background, like he was an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but he's a cheerleader.
Andy Reid, of course, offense, but like, thinking through the years, Don Shula, he was defense.
So
Mike Tomlin, Ben Roethlisberger, defense.
Yeah,
I feel like here's the argument for why maybe it's better to pair a great coach, a great quarterback, with a defensive coach. If you can get Andy Reid or Bill Walsh, by all means. But I feel like the quarterback, if he's good enough, like Brock, is going to sort of take care of the offense on his own. You don't need to have the best offensive coach. You need to have the best defensive coach. You need to pair that guy. Because if you have an elite quarterback and an elite defense, you're probably going to win the Super Bowl. Or you're going to be in it.
Here's my thing. Harbaugh's defense, right? Or does he do both?
Harbaugh, no. I mean, he was a quarterback coach. He was never really an offensive coordinator, but his background is offense. John Harbaugh's background was defense and special teams.
Well, because I was thinking about it, because Jim, like, I think there are different coaches for different reasons, right? Like Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid is I think he's great at building a system around players. I think Harbaugh is great at building players around his system. And I think the same for Kyle. So I think Purdy needs a system coach. Purdy needs to be in his system, just like the way I think Tom Brady needed to be in his system. I think 31 other teams draft Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady. Purdy, I think the same way. I think Purdy and Tom Brady are like, Purdy's better. Like, obviously he beat the hell out of him.
He is better than Tom Brady.
Yeah. Like he already smoked him, but he's like that upper echelon Tom Brady, like with mobility, right? He'll probably win 8.
Yeah. Tom Brady's like a poor man's Brock Purdy.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
if you don't want mobility and you want like
And you want
I don't
like
know.
size.
You want distractions in the offseason because Tom Brady
Yeah.
was like married to a model or whatever.
Diva.
Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
want that, then you'd go Tom. But if you
Right.
want like football, mobility, you'd go
Faith.
Purdy. Yeah,
Yeah.
faith. So
Yeah.
I think Purdy needs an offensive coach. I'll tell you right now, if something happens to
Hold on.
Kyle, it's happening to Purdy.
Let me make it look. I disagree. God, hold on, but I don't really know how I feel. But let me make the argument for why maybe he doesn't. He had the offensive coach last year. The offense ranked really high last year. What did the Niners offense rank?
I think it was
You
like
had Kyle
7th in
Shanahan, you had Brock
efficiency.
Purdy. The offense ranked 4th in yards,
Okay, there
and
you
you
go.
won 6 games because the defense was awful. So it seems to me that with Brock, I mean, if you lost Kyle Shanahan, the offense wouldn't be as good. But there's so many people who run his system, maybe not as well, but there's the entire family of the Kubiaks. There's like 4 of those people, and then there's Shanahan might have a little brother. We don't know. It's hard to say. He's got a son named Carter who's in high school. In a few years, he could be ready. He might be ready right now. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now.
He could coach.
He could coach.
Like
There's David Lombardi. He's genius. He could do it.
I don't see Purdy being good without Kyle's system. That's my issue. Is outside of Kyle's system
You're such a hater.
Actually, with KOC in Minnesota, KOC is my example of why you need a good offensive coach. Because I think he's phenomenal. He's taking players like Sam Darnold and making them like look good and get broken off.
Is it KOC or is it Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison?
I think it's a mix of both. Because
where was KOC in the playoffs? I'm not making good arguments, really. These are just bad arguments.
I think
you might be right. You might be right. But I guess where I'm going with this is like, if they put together a good defense this year with Robert Saleh and he gets hired somewhere and leaves and their defense, they're in trouble. Here's why I think Purdy needs a great defense, because he's not that great.
I agree, but I think
he can't win like Burrow, where it's like, hey man, our defense really sucks this year. We're going to need you to throw 40 passes. Like they're not ever winning that way. He doesn't play that way. For him to be effective, it needs to be 20 to like 30, 25 to like 32 passes. And to pull that off, you have to have a really good defense.
I mean, so I think the biggest thing is like Kyle just needs a Spagnuolo. Like Andy Reid, I hate to say this about Andy Reid. Andy Reid is pretty overrated. Like, not trying to be disrespectful. He's great. But Spagnuolo does not get nearly enough credit for how good he is for that team. If he wasn't there, I don't see them being this dynasty they are. Like, his defense the last 2 years has been significantly better.
Also, his Andy Reid's defenses in Philly with Jim Johnson were great too. They were arguably better than the offenses.
Yeah, like Andy Reid, and I think that's what these offensive guys bring. Like, I think Kyle knows how to, like, obviously outside of Sirianni, he knows how to identify people that can build a great defense. Like, he knows what troubles offenses because he's so good at offense. And so he, like, I mean, if you think about all the coordinators he's found that are good, like D'Amico, Saleh, I mean, Wilkes was good at the back half for us. Like, and they've made it work with not putting all of our effort into defense. So I think that's why the Niners are just changing their player philosophy, which is kind of what you're saying. Focus on defense for players. Let Kyle do his thing on offense.
I mean, we have examples right now, like with Washington. Everyone would think, oh, Jaden Daniels, right? This up-and-coming court, you got to give him to an offensive coach. He has to have an offensive coach. Dan Quinn did a great job with him. Now, Cliff Kingsbury did too, but if they lose Cliff Kingsbury, I mean, I'm not worried about it, and I wouldn't fire Dan Quinn to keep Cliff Kingsbury. I think like that combination could be the next Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. I mean, I really like that combination for Washington moving forward. Sean McDermott and Josh Allen have been a pretty good combination throughout the years. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think his defense I think the Bills have been plagued by injuries. Like, if you look every year they've lost, the amount of starters they don't have on defense is absurd. But
Sean McDermott is the coach that people want to make Kyle Shanahan out to be.
What do you mean? Oh,
like he's the one who like gets to me, like deserves the excuse. Like he just can't beat Mahomes. Like he doesn't have seasons where he goes 6-11. That doesn't happen.
Well, he also has Josh Allen, so it's pretty hard to go 6-11 with Josh Allen as opposed to Brock. I mean, Brock's better, but
Yeah, it's true.
Like that's my thing. Is like I actually would fire Quinn to keep
Kingsbury.
I don't think Kingsbury's great, but I don't think Dan Quinn's that great. I think he's very niche, right? He always has played that press man exhausting defense, but once teams like dial in on it, like it gets worked, 20.
I like him as a head coach though. I feel like he has like a lot of authentic energy and people play for him. But maybe I'm overreacting.
Like a Dan Campbell thing, but yeah,
but authentic. Dan Campbell is there's something inauthentic about Dan Campbell. He's like over the top with it, and he's like on the verge of tears, and he's gonna cry. Like I think Dan Quinn is just, I don't know.
That's why I respect Kyle
He's enthusiastic. He's cool.
That's why I like Kyle Shanahan. He's like a boy. He's a man's man. He's not crying. He's telling reporters what they need to hear, which is stop asking me questions.
Dude,
Kyle
Dan Campbell be at a game like, love these man. I just
Kyle Shanahan. It's like, you guys will ask him a question. You guys will ask Kyle a question, like stupid questions get stupid answers. Next, that's the kind of coach I like having.
Fortunately for me, I've never, ever, ever asked a stupid question.